Alrighty then. I'm sure my mic's not on. Alright, so it's not. Alright. So as the title would suggest, we're going to go over some of the new Flavour Art flavors. They came out with 3, at least in the US. There are more that are not available apparently. So obviously we won't be going over those. But I got the Rhapsody, which is a tobacco, Mango Indian Special, which is another version of their mango, and then Blueberry Juicy Ripe. I mixed these on Friday, so they have been sitting a couple of days. Typically for fruits, you don't really need to have them sit for any length of time, but I was told that the blueberry does improve with a couple of days of sitting, so that's why I did it a little bit early. The tobacco, I'm not entirely sure. Some tobaccos are good right away. I think with Flavour Arts, they do sometimes need to sit, so we'll see how it goes. I did most of them at 1%. The blueberry I did at 1.5%. And then if we have time, I do want to revisit some of the single flavor tests we did a couple weeks ago and possibly try to add upon them. Namely, I think the watermelon is what I want to kind of build on to see if we can get something else. All right, sorry, I was a little concerned because my internet keeps, my little Ethernet keeps unplugging, so I just want to make sure it was still live and everything. Anyway, we're going to get right into it. I do want to make this a quicker show. It's still not going to be quick because I don't think I've ever done a quick show. But I do want it to be done by 2 o'clock, so we'll see how that goes. We're going to start off with the mango. This is, again, the Mango Indian Special at 1%. It's been sitting since Friday. Hello, Dimlin. I forget how they say you pronounce that. Can I call you Dimmy? Probably not. Hello, B-Dog. I'm testing these on icons as per usual. I do have a new mod though, so I'm going to show you that real quick. This was a gift. I don't know if they want to know or people to know who it's from. I don't know, some people are weird about that. But you probably can tell based upon how it's fashioned. But this is the SRX something. The name on it is kind of, it's this. Is the picture blurry to you guys? Because I have it on, I have it up on my computer and the feed looks really blurry. But anyway, it's pretty cool. I like the design of it. It kind of reminds me of the Vapor Flask Stout. Vaguely. I don't think I have it over here. I think it might be sitting over there. Yeah, it is. But anyway, let's get on with the mango. Definitely better than, I don't particularly care for the regular mango. Because to me, the regular mango is a little bit funky. Which, I mean, mangoes are inherently funky, especially if you eat them early. For me to like a mango, it has to be very ripe. And sometimes they can have that weird musty kind of note to it. I definitely prefer this one. And I would say amongst the mangoes I've tried, it's definitely one of the more authentic ones without being off-putting. Yeah, I'm not getting any burnt rubber, thank God. And it's a little sweet, which is nice because fruits in general are pretty sweet. But yeah, I quite like it. If I had to compare it to any other kind of mango, I would say maybe a cross between Sweet Mango by Capella and Flavora's Mango, maybe. But it's really nice. I could see it in like a tropical smoothie kind of situation. Um, Pretty much anything you would use mango for, but it's really nice. I do like it. The blueberry I am a little bit scared of because smelling it, it doesn't smell great, but I've heard that it tastes better than it smells. That didn't sound right. I'm trying to clean this off. I got these from Bull City Flavors. They do have a pack that includes all 3 of the new flavors. And that's what I went with because I wanted to get all 3 of them anyway. I'm sure they're available other places, but that's where I got mine. All right, the next one we're going to do is this Blueberry Juicy Ripe. Now, I am quite a fan of their bilberry. Technically, it's not a blueberry. It's a different type of berry, but to me, it tastes very similar to a blueberry, just a little bit more dark, if that makes any sense, a little bit more fleshy. It is slightly perfumey, and it does tend to need to sit, so I guess it kind of makes sense that this one does as well. But upon smelling it out of the bottle, the actual flavoring, it smells like blueberry ketchup, which is weird. But we'll see. Well, we don't always have the same opinions, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But I haven't heard anything bad about the mango so far. Seems like everyone pretty much likes it, so. And I will definitely be using it in something. I'm not entirely sure what. Probably like a smoothie, maybe with guanabana. That would probably go well with it. Anyway. The mango was 1%. This is 1.5%. Now, bear in mind, I do mix on the lower end of things, so y'all might need to increase. And basically was going based upon Jen Jarvis's recommendations and percentages, because we do seem to be pretty similar with our percentages. And she also has a lot of I don't know how to put it. Basically, she gets a lot of off notes from things similar to me, but I think she is actually a little bit more sensitive than I am. So generally, if she likes something, I would like something. So plus, if you're looking for any kind of opinion on Flavour Art, she's probably the go-to because she uses primarily Flavour Art flavors. So. This one's interesting. It tastes like a blueberry jam or like a jelly to me. It doesn't taste like the actual fruit. From what she was saying, it sounds like maybe my batch is different than hers, because she said that she got more of the fleshy tone from just smelling it than I do. I seem to be getting more of the ketchup type of note. That's what I'm tasting. I taste like a blueberry jam or jelly candy kind of thing. It's not bad. It's just I prefer, especially my berries, to have a little bit more of a flesh note to them. But I'm weird. I like earthy notes. Some people are turned off by them. I like them as long as they're not overpowering. So like she recommended, I would probably have to mix this with a more earthy, like a bilberry to make it ideal for me. It's okay. It's nothing special in my opinion. I definitely prefer the mango. I could see it working well in like a candy, or for whatever reason you would need like a blueberry toast mixture. That might work for it. Good luck on getting a toast note in a vape, but I don't know. It's all right. I'm trying to think of my favorite blueberry. I do like VSO's blueberry. However, there might be something in it that bothers me. As most of you know, I'm very sensitive to everything. And there's just something in that seemed to bother me. And the same with the strawberry, which is unfortunate because the flavor is really good. But if you're not sensitive like I am, their blueberry is really, really good. It's one of the best I've tried. Another blueberry I like, I like Flavour West blueberry. You just needs to sit. It is quite perfumey at first. I like TFA blueberry wild. So more old school kind of blueberries. I'm trying to think if there is like any newer blueberries that I like. I can't really think of any. The blueberry candy by Wonder Flavors was good, but it's definitely a blueberry candy. It's not like the actual fruit. We're doing Rhapsody next. This one is a tobacco. Again at 1%. Or you could do the blueberry juicy in like a donut or something, or a pastry. It would work well in that. It's more realistic than trying to find a toast. Real Flavors baked bread is really good for a bready note, but it doesn't have like the toast kind of texture or flavor. I don't think I've had Salubarome's toast. I wasn't really thrilled with Salubarome, to be honest. I got a couple of their flavors and none of them really stood out to me. I know a lot of people liked the banana flambe was pretty good. Other than that, I can't really think of anything. Like their donut, people raved about the donut. I didn't really find it all that impressive, but I'm picky, so always bear that in mind. But the benefit of me being picky is if I like something, then it may be more likely to be good since I don't like so many things. That's one way to look at it. I also got the Mullenberry strawberry milk. I haven't tried it yet, but it smells really good. It smells like a strawberry Nesquik situation. Kind of what Flavour West milkshake or strawberry milkshake was supposed to be, because I don't remember particularly liking that flavor. I need to write stuff down. I really do. I always expect to remember it, and I don't. All right, so this is Rhapsody. Try to get a description. Jen Jarvis says it's more of like a green tobacco. She said there's like notes of graham in it, like graham cracker. I'm kind of 50-50, if not more, leaning higher on not liking Flavour Art's tobaccos, but it has been a long time, so I'm kind of slowly but surely revisiting a lot of them, because I have found that I do like Flavour Art's RY4. I like Shade at a low percentage. I like their cigars. Their cigars are real nice. And that's because of Jen Woodstead. She has a couple of mixes she had me try that had those in there, and I liked them in there, so I kind of started messing with them more. But back in the day, I mean, we're talking years ago, I tried them and I wasn't fond of them, but things change, equipment changes, flavors change. So who knows? I'll have to revisit them at some point. I did buy most of them again to specifically try. I just haven't gotten around to it yet because I have so many flavors. Okay, why did it send me to this when it doesn't have it? That was annoying. So I'm trying to get an accurate description, like direct from Flavour Art. It says a nice woody flavor with nutty and herbal notes, along with subtle floral and fruity undertones. Interesting. I definitely get the herbal. It's and I get like a hay, like, you know, horse hay, like a bundle of hay. Mind you, it hasn't been sitting long. I don't know if this needs to. I think with, like I said, Flavour Arts, they do tend to need time to really come out. Flavor or Flavoras are more like right away. They do change in time, kind of back and forth, but they're good right away. I'll say the vapor smells nice because that's important to me. Like if I have something that vapes well, but the vapor stinks, I can't do it. Like I don't want my area smelling bad. It's very odd. I definitely get a lot of hay. And maybe that's the woody flavor. I guess I could see it being woody. Kind of reminds me of when I was playing clarinet. I tried playing clarinet for like a good couple months and then I quickly lost interest. But those wooden, like these wooden sticks that go on the mouthpiece of the clarinet, they have to wet to make the sound or whatever. I don't really know. It kind of reminds me of that. Like when you're eating like a popsicle, like the wooden stick, it kind of has that kind of a note to it. So I'm guessing that's like the woody note. But like right off the bat, it reminded me of hay, like the way hay smells. I guess I get a little bit of nuttiness, like a nondescript kind of nut. The herbal note, I guess, could be like an earthy note. I don't know that I'm getting any kind of graham cracker or fruit or floral from it. I don't know. This one's a weird one. I can't really think of a use for this outside of maybe adding a woody note to a different type of tobacco, or maybe to lighten up a dark tobacco, something like that. It's not something I would like go out of my way to vape though. It's kind of weird. And I would say if you don't like tobaccos, like there's certain tobaccos I'd still recommend even if you don't like them. This isn't one of them. Oh, it's not bad. It's just weird. We are going to let it sit though, because like I said, some tobaccos do need to sit and we want to give it a fair chance, especially knowing that it's a profile that does tend to need to sit. Put a date on it so I remember what day it was. Friday was the 27th. So maybe in like a month-ish, we'll revisit that one to see how it's changed, and I'll try to remember to write notes down because I'm terrible at that. We're going to move on to the mixtures we made a couple weeks ago. These were new Wonder flavors that came out. We're going to do... We'll see how all of them have changed. I don't think I'm going to do the cheesecake again because that one had already been sitting for a couple weeks when I did it the first time or on the show last time. So I don't see the point of revisiting it yet again, because it really didn't change much from when I had first tried it anyway. So we're going to do the cookie butter and the watermelon yellow. Now, I did talk to Frank at Wonder Flavors to confirm whether or not the cookie butter is a speculoos or if it's just a like cookie butter without spice notes. He said that it's definitely more of a cookie butter, and if there's any spice notes, they would be light. So it's not a speculoos, so it's not going to be similar to Jungle Flavors cookie butter, because that one is definitely a speculoos with all the like nutmeg, cinnamon, spiced cookie notes to it. So they are different. So that being said, I would rate it a little bit higher than I did before, even though it wasn't bad before. But I was definitely looking for spice notes where there wasn't necessarily supposed to be any in there. So that changes things a little bit. Now, if you did need spice notes in it, you could always add them. It's basically just a cookie butter without the spice notes. I don't really get any spice notes at all. Jungle Flavors cookie butter is very good. If you want that speculoos type of flavor, you could also mix them together if you don't want as much of a spice note. But we'll see how it's changed, if it's changed. So this is the cookie butter. We're going to do that first. It smells really good. So hopefully you guys had a good holiday. Mine was pretty chill. We just had dinner. And then the next day we went bowling because we usually practice on Wednesdays, but it being Christmas, no one was open. And then we had league yesterday, and we're actually in first place and should keep our first place position considering how we bowled yesterday. So that's good. Not really something I expected because I'm not the best bowler by any means, but I don't know. Bowling is one of those weird sports where there's handicaps and stuff, so it kind of balances things out a little bit, which I don't know. I almost prefer if it had no handicap because I don't really get the point. I guess it's to make it more fair with like women or something. I don't know. It might be a sexist thing. Not entirely sure. But I will say the top bowlers in our league are men. If that means anything. But it is a mixed league, so we do have handicaps. I don't know. It makes it a little weird, but I don't know. We're winning, I guess. I don't know why I looked at it like that. I also had a close encounter with a deer on the way home from bowling on Thursday, which was pretty scary. Could have been really a lot worse than it was. But basically, we were on the freeway, so I'm already going like 65. And out of nowhere, the car, not in the next lane to me, but the one next to that, so there's like one lane between us, all of a sudden, like his car parts start flying towards me. There was like an impact, and then there's car parts flying towards me. My sister was with me, so she actually saw more of it than I did. But apparently a deer ran across the highway and hit him real bad because I saw his hood fly up. And his front end, there was no headlights or anything. But yeah, it was pretty scary because if I was one more lane closer to him, I think it would have been a different story for us. There was no damage to my car or anything like that. It was pretty scary. And it was weird because the deer would have had to have gone past the other whole lanes of traffic because it's like a 4 or 5 lane freeway. And they would have had to come from the left side. So I don't know how they managed to do all that, not get hit, go over the barrier, and then proceed to keep running. It was weird. So just be careful. I mean, there was really no warning. It just happened very quickly, so I don't even know what you would do. But I guess just be more careful, mindful of everything. I'd say the only way that it changed very slightly is it got a little bit more buttery. But other than that, it hasn't really changed all that much. So yeah. So it doesn't seem like steeping or whatever you want to call it. I'm trying not to say steeping because I know technically it's not the right term. I don't know. It's kind of a habit. I've only been saying it for almost a decade. But moral of the story is it doesn't seem to change much as it sits. So to me, that's a good thing because, I mean, a lot of people these days, they don't want to steep anything. I know I don't. I want to be able to mix something and be good pretty much right away. It's not always the case, but ideally, that's the way I want to vape. And I think a lot of people are like that. Like for me, especially with all my tasting issues, I kind of need it to be that way because I can't really mix a whole bunch of something ahead of time and then not be able to vape it and then realize that I can't vape it because I don't really taste anything and then have to wait again. Blue's going nuts. In order to have something to mix. So I don't know. It's good to have, I guess, a variety of things that maybe need to sit and maybe don't. But overall, I don't want to wait. I don't know what Blue's problem is. Yeah, the cookie butter is definitely a lighter flavor. The speculoos is definitely more upfront. I think the spice notes help with that for it to stand out more immediately. But yeah, the Wonder Flavors is definitely a more subtle flavor, which can be good or bad depending on what you want. We're going to do watermelon next. This is the watermelon yellow. When I first tested it, it just was a very light watermelon flavor. I've never had any other watermelon outside of the regular standard red watermelon or whatever you would want to call it. So I couldn't tell you what the difference is in real life. But in the mix, it's definitely an authentic kind of melon flavor. It just tastes like a watermelon, slightly less red. A little bit more subtle in flavor and a little bit more floral. Not in like a perfumey way, just, I don't know, because there is a difference between perfume and floral. And I think what people are afraid of with florals is the perfume, because there's definitely a lot of perfumey floral flavors out there, but not all of them are. TFA honeysuckle is one that's really nice. That's what I always recommend for people dabbling into florals, just to start there. It's probably the least offensive floral there is. Cherry Blossom by TFA is also good. To me, it just tastes like cherry. And it's a nice cherry too, which is good because a good cherry is hard to find. And then as they're moving up, I'd recommend like Flavour Art, Jasmine. Lavender is probably one of the ones I would recommend last because it definitely is more tricky. But I don't know. I like florals. Not all of them are good, don't get me wrong, but I do enjoy them in general. All right, so watermelon yellow. This was the one I was going to mess with and maybe add their new Malaysian Guava to it. See how that turns out. This one definitely developed, which is interesting. Still getting used to this mod. I'm trying to turn it down. Hello? No, I didn't want to lock you. There we go. It got kind of soapy. So maybe I mixed it too high. Not. Excuse you. That's my lid. Thank you very much. I see Blue is in a mood. Yeah. You acting up? Yeah. It's so weird how she turns into a ghost when she goes on the blanket, because I guess it's so similar in color to her. You a ghost. Anyway, it didn't get like super soapy to where it's like unvapable, but it definitely got a little bit. I think this was one I did increase, so probably I wouldn't have increased it knowing this. Outside of the weird slight note of that, the overall flavor is good. It did develop though. It's a little bit more juicy, a little bit more floral. So I don't know how all of you would feel about that. Trying to see what percentage I mixed it at. I want to say it was, I think I increased it to 2. Yeah, I increased it to 2, so I'd probably pull it back to 1.5 or 1 for me. For you guys, 2 would probably be fine. I don't know that I prefer it steeped or unsteeped. They're just different. I get a little bit of a rind note, which might be like the floral-ish note. I personally like it. If you don't like florals, I don't know. I would definitely shoot low. But I like it. It's interesting. It's still got like a hint of the watermelon note, but it kind of turned into something more floral, which again could have been the percentage increase. That's kind of like the risk you go. That's why I always try to mix lower. But definitely it's weird how this changed quite a lot sitting, because fruits don't tend to do that. So we are going to add the Malaysian Guava to it just to see what happens. Let me see if there's any recommendations on this. I haven't single flavor tested this Malaysian Guava, so that should be interesting. And I don't even know that I've had a regular guava in real life, like the actual fruit. I want to say I haven't. So they're mixing it at pretty low. Ashley mixed it. She said her single flavor preferred was 0.5%. They said it could be the stir to a wine cooler juice. Musky but sweet, slightly fermented type musk. That's interesting. They said it. Another person said it was sour, sweet, not bitter, juicy, tropical tasting flavor, can take over a recipe easily. So I guess we're going to be doing this pretty low. Yeah, smelling it, it definitely does smell tropical, and it smells like it would be best in like a juice type mixture. Though I don't know what else you would use guava for. I guess maybe a candy. I'm thinking the watermelon and the guava probably would be nice together. We are going to go low on this, like pretty low, because if they're saying it can take over at 0.5%, and I don't know what these people normally mix their stuff at, that's kind of concerning to me. Um, 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 um. Dab this 10. Watermelon yellow. Is it not? Or helps if you spell it right. Yeah, even people on EL are mixing it at 1. We're going to do 0.25. Let's see what happens there. Especially with the watermelon possibly being overdone to begin with. Another thing I was thinking about with the watermelon was lime, but I've already done that profile a couple times now, so I wanted to try something different. Plus, this is a new flavor, also from Wonder Flavors, so I figured it'd be a good opportunity to use it. It smells good though. If you like tropicals, I think you'd probably like it based upon smell, which is not always accurate. We're just gonna put this in our little hot bath for a little bit. So kind of revisiting the other flavors that I had mixed previously, if you weren't around to see that. I also did the roasted hazelnut, which is good. I think it would be really good in coffees, maybe tobaccos, pastries, really anything you'd want like a roasted nut flavor for. Something like roasting is kind of hard to emulate in a vape, and I'm very sensitive to like black fire or like the smoke additive that's used in like the Flavour Art black fire. I think it's in what other flavor? I'm not a fan of it. I hate Flavour Art black fire, at least everyone that I've tried. Winstead says that if you dilute it really, really, really low, it's useful. I still haven't tried it that way because, quite frankly, I'm scared. But yeah, I'm very sensitive to that. I don't get any of that in the roasted hazelnut, thankfully. It's just a nice, nutty flavor. I did use it rather low. I think I did it at like 0.5. So it is on the stronger end. I would say whatever you use, if you've used it, the Wonder Flavors honey roasted peanut, whatever you used that at percentage wise should be good for the roasted hazelnut because they do seem to be similar in strength. The strawberry cheesecake is very good. I really liked it. It had a nice cheesecake note to it, which is kind of hard to do sometimes. And the strawberry is nice, and I could actually taste it. As strawberry, unfortunately, is one of the flavors I I seem to have lost when I started having my tasting issues. Lemon was what caused it, so I can't always taste lemon, especially if I keep vaping it. And strawberry is one that even immediately I take like 2 pulls and it's gone. But so far with that one, it doesn't seem to be the case, but I haven't vaped it consistently because I'm quite honestly afraid to lose that ability to taste strawberry again. But it's a nice flavor. I really like that one. I think that was all I did. And then to recap the Flavour Art I did earlier for the newer people that came in, I like the Flavour Art Indian mango the best, the Indian special. It's a really nice mango. It's like the perfect balance of like the authentic, almost musty kind of flavor that you get from a real mango, but it's not overdone. and it has a nice part of like just the juicy, nice mango flavor that you get in other flavors that don't have the musk at all. So it's like a good balance between the two things. It's probably my favorite mango I've tried, to be honest, for like a legit mango. The blueberry juicy wasn't as much of a fan of. I still like it. I just don't get any earthiness from it that I like in a blueberry. It's pretty much like a blueberry jam to me, or like a glaze. I don't get any of like, it's not super authentic to me. And then the Rhapsody was probably my least favorite, but it's a tobacco, so it might need to sit. But upon initial testing after 2.5 days, 3 days, I get a lot of hay or like a wood note from it, and it's just overall kind of weird. So we're gonna let that sit and revisit it maybe after a month. Ugh. Hair everywhere. Trying to think of what else. I've been trying not to buy so many. Well, I've pretty much been on like, not a flavor, a no flavor. What do they call that? Basically, I was trying not to buy flavors for a while now because I don't need them. But Bull City got the new Flavour Art, so I definitely wanted those, especially after what I've been hearing from people about the mango specifically. I definitely wanted to try that. And of course, I can't just get the 3 flavors because to me that's just like a waste of paying for shipping. Just a waste of an order. So I did get a couple of other ones. I'm trying to find my receipt. I got the mulberry strawberry milk, which I already talked about. I haven't tried it yet. And then I think I just re-upped on flavors I was missing. Or not missing, but low on. I did get the strawberry cheesecake by Liquid Barn because I heard that one is good. Also haven't tried it. Plus, I think they were in a couple of mixes I wanted to do, so I was missing it, so I grabbed it. Flavor deal. Kind of. Not really a tight budget. It's not like I'm like low on money or anything. It's just I have so many flavors, there's no point of me buying more flavors that are just going to sit. Because I've been really bad with single flavor testing for a while now. Pretty much these shows, what you see is my single flavor tests. So that should give you some gauge of how often I do them. I don't know. If you've been mixing for a long time, it just gets kind of old. Plus, with me having so many flavor issues, like tasting certain things, it's just like, am I going to be able to taste this? Like, is there a point of mixing this? I don't know. It just gets kind of old. But yes, the Wonder Flavors strawberry cheesecake is really good. I went over that. I don't know if there's a delay, but I got the Liquid Barn as well because I heard that one was good. But I don't see it getting much better than the Wonder Flavor strawberry cheesecake. That as a complete cheesecake is the best that I've had. I know a lot of people rave about the Inawera Yes Sweet cheesecake. I didn't like that one. I was really disappointed. I wanted to like it, and maybe it's just I haven't nailed the right percentage or let it sit long enough. I don't know, but I was really disappointed with that one. I always have to like build a cheesecake, usually using 2 different ones to have the ideal cheesecake in a vape. And even then, I find it a little lacking. But the strawberry, the Wonder Flavors is really, really good. The only problem is you need to have the strawberry in it. Like, so whatever cheesecake you're doing, it's going to have that note in it. And that might not always be what you want. So you still might end up having to build it in certain circumstances. All right, this one's almost done. I did try the Freaky Donut. Ow, just pulled a muscle. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I don't really like donut vapes. There's like 2 I think I've ever tried that I particularly liked. I wasn't a fan of it. Mullenberry, their newer flavors, not the newest batch because I don't have those, the one before that. Out of the ones I tried, I would say my favorite was, I'm trying to think, it was a while ago. There was one I was really liking. Might have to look it up. Like I said, my memory is not good. I like the pina colada. I remember that. Like the pineapple note was real nice. And they do have a nice pineapple. I like their watermelon as well, even though it does have a little bit of a throat hit. I really liked Boom. I don't think that's a newer one though. As a strawberry watermelon, it's really good. I like their coffee. The double mocha coffee was good. It's a smooth hazelnut coffee with mocha accent. That's what my notes say. I rated that 5 stars. Their milkshake is good. Oh, the pineapple lassi is what I was talking about. That one was good. Yeah. Oh, I like the Tinkle and Spark. I think that was one of my favorites. That one was the apricot with a hint of orange. I didn't really get a tingle from it. I don't know if you're technically supposed to, like that kind of fizzy sensation, but it was a really nice apricot. So I think that one was my favorite, and then slightly under that was the double mocha coffee. Mullenberry is one where their coffees are good. They're probably my favorite brand to get coffees from. I also like the Wonder Flavors Smooth Cappuccino. That one's really good. I don't remember trying their other coffees. I think I tried the espresso in a mix, but I hadn't single flavor tested that one. And I don't know if they have other coffees, but Mullenberry has solid coffees. The Mullenberry white chocolate was okay. I still have yet to find a white chocolate that, to me, number one, tastes like white chocolate, and two, is complete by itself. I like Wonder Flavors white fudge mixed with Health Cabin white chocolate. That together is as close as I've come to a white chocolate, because like one has the taste of the white chocolate, and then the other one has like the body and like kind of texture to it. So combining those to me got a good white chocolate, but I have yet to find one that's just on its own. I don't think I've tried the Flavour Art white chocolate on its own yet. If I did, I don't remember what it tastes like. All right. So we're going to try this watermelon yellow mixed with the guava, and then I'm going to get out of here. We do have a Mix and Vixen show tonight. It's the nondescript roasted nut pitcher. It could be pretty much anything. I'm guessing it's supposed to be chestnuts on a open fire or whatever. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. That's why I picked it. That was one I did pick, because I figured it's vague enough that you could do a lot of things with it, at least in my mind. We'll see what the other girls did. That'll be on in about 4 hours. Yeah, I like those together. Probably could bump up the guava slightly. I don't know that I would necessarily want to. So it just gives like a hint of I don't know, it's hard to describe guava outside of just being very tropical. It kind of mellows out the slight off note I had prior to adding it. And the slight off note, again, to be clear, I think it's because I overdid the percentage because I ended up increasing it when I guess I didn't need to if I was letting it sit. I'm not really used to fruits getting, changing that much, but it definitely did to me. Or maybe my tastes were off that week. Who knows? But it definitely tasted stronger today opposed to when I initially tried it. So I definitely would dial back the watermelon yellow. I did it at 2%. I would have stuck with the probably 1.5, maybe even down to 1, depending on what I was doing. And then adding this guava to it. It makes like a nice, refreshing, it's more of like a summer vape if you vape seasonally. I don't. There are flavors I do tend to crave during certain times of the year, but overall, I still vape a lot of fruit. Prior to mixing up this peppermint that I mixed a couple days ago, I think I was still doing fruit. What was I doing? Oh, I was doing a candy, but it was like a fruit candy thing. But it's definitely, like if you're going season-wise, it's definitely more like a summer or spring kind of flavor. Hello, Dico. That's good, Tomcat. So if you guys have questions, now would be the time. But yeah, for you guys, the 1% or the 2% would probably be good for the watermelon yellow. But for me, it's just slightly too high. But from what I can taste of the guava, it tastes good. I obviously would need a single flavor test to get the full story of it. But it just tastes very tropical. It's hard to say if it's juicy because the watermelon was already juicy. But according to the 2 people that left reviews, it sounds like they said it was. It is rather strong, though, based upon what they wrote. It smells very nice. But yeah, not having a real guava in like its actual form, it's hard to say how authentic it is. It smells and tastes kind of punchy because I think guava is in a lot of punch, like Hawaiian punch type things. But yeah, in the mix, it was good. So yeah, if you guys don't have questions, I'm going to get out of here because otherwise I just sit here rambling about nothing. Like I said, Mix and Vixens will be on tonight in about 4 hours doing the roasted nut thingy. If you have any questions for us during the show would be the time to ask. If you mixed along with us, be sure to put it on our Facebook so we can know and, grab your recipe to show it on the show. I don't know that we had any recipes last I checked. It is a weird one, so I'm not really expecting it to. It does look like we have one. So that's good. The title of it is interesting. I'm not going to look at it, though. I don't like to look at the recipes until we do the show. Number one, I don't want to be influenced when I'm actually mixing it to go any kind of direction. Also, I like to be surprised and kind of just go over it with the girls. I think it's more interesting that way. I'm going to grab it just to make sure it's there. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here. Happy holidays. Happy New Year early. Because prior to or outside of the Vixens, I probably won't see you guys until after the New Year hits. Be safe out there. If you're drinking, stay home or get an Uber. Don't drive. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them in the description, or not the description, the comment box. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, bye.